You know, the last few years have seen a lot of people searching for fun activities to be played from the comfort and safety of their homes. After watching my roommate binge watch Yu Gi Oh! Back in the spring of 2020, my childhood fascination with the game came back in full swing. And I know I can't be alone. After reliving some of my favorite battles from the original series, I was itching to play the card game once more, despite its heavy barrier to entry. I'm sure that setting a monster and a face down just isn't the formidable strategy that it once was, yet I still felt compelled to play. Some friends and I went out and bought Yu-Gi-Oh cards and had a massive pack opening night, and that was so much fun. I loved it. We took our new cards, we threw together some decks, and yeah, they were pretty crappy, but it was just fun to be playing again. Soon after, I discovered the Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube community, and like many others, my fascination with one creator's content dominated my watch time on the platform. Simo's progression series and subsequent playlists have kept me hooked over the last year and a half, as I frequently tune in to check out his content. Watching the entire first season of the Progression series helped me in catching up on all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Changes I had missed, such as Synchros, XYZs, Pendulums, and Links. This new knowledge, paired with countless hours battling with friends on Dueling Book, has helped make me into a Yu-Gi-Oh! Player once more. An extremely casual one, but for sure an interested player. Like I mentioned before, I know I can't be alone on this, and with this massive influx of new players to the community, a brand new tool to play, such as Master Duel, was going to grab a lot of attention. And it seems to me it has so far. Booting up the game reveals some advantages and disadvantages when compared to third-party dueling programs, but since I know I can't be alone as a new player, I felt a more casual impressions video of Master Duel might be helpful to some people who are in the same boat as myself. So first and foremost, Master Duel is a free-to-play program, meaning you don't have to spend a dime to become the next king of games. Well, at least in theory. There is of course an in-game shop where you can buy currency to spend on packs, but in my limited experience with the game, I felt it to be very generous. Gems are the main currency here, and you're given a ton of them for doing just about everything in the game, from logging in, to playing the story mode, and to competing online in ranked play. It seems like I'm collecting mission rewards or battle pass luxuries every single time I complete a couple of duels. It's fantastic. I do hear that this generosity wanes as you play more and more, but at the outset I was heavily impressed. I didn't feel like I needed to spend a dime. Weirdly enough though, your gems are capped at 10,000 and you can't exceed that. I'm not sure what's up with this limitation, it just is a strange restriction. Now, the game will hold any additional gems for you for a set number of days to be collected later. But I'm happy to say I've been hitting this gem cap pretty often, despite opening up a ton of packs. So in short, it's one of the best and most generous free-to-play experiences I've ever played. One reason I've accumulated so many gems is that I've been thoroughly enjoying the game's solo mode. This mode allows you to collect new cards while also easing in new players on some of the game's more complex mechanics and archetypes. Let's be blunt, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not a very friendly game to new players, or even those who are returning after enjoying the game in its infancy. There's no way a game centered around Yu-Gi-Oh! Can come along and just teach the player everything in great detail easily. To do so would require a lot of player reading and a lot less of actually playing the game. Master Duel finds a nice balancing point as mechanics like Synchros, XYZs, Pendulums, and Link summonings are introduced to the player in menus and tutorials, but it's up to them to experiment to fully grasp how the mechanic works. and in solo mode, you're free to do that to your heart's content without worry of embarrassing yourself online. As you learn, you'll also be accumulating more gems, more cards, more decks, more information, and interestingly enough, more lore on some of the game's archetypes. I felt this solo mode did a good job of building on my existing knowledge of the game without being intrusive or cumbersome. Make no mistake, you'll still spend a lot of time reading card text, but that's something no dueling simulator is going to be able to mitigate. It's just a part of Yu-Gi-Oh's DNA, for better or worse. I spent a few hours grinding out some of the solo mode and really enjoyed my experience. That time flew by, and a large reason for that was the beautiful presentation on display. The mats, cards, animations, and menus all look shiny and new and lure you in for just one more game. In particular, the menu work in actual duels is impressive given how complex Yu-Gi-Oh is. Although, when you're outside of them and just on the game menu, things are a bit laggy and slow, and I'm not sure why. But after just a few matches, I understood everything I needed to know about how to operate the game. I also love that you can purchase or unlock different companions who will watch over the battlefield, as well as card sleeves to customize your deck even further. I mean, check it out, I got Dark Magician having my back in battle. How could I lose? Oh, well, like that I guess, but still, having Dark Magician here is awesome. So anyway, after a few hours of solo play, I was ready to check out the online mode. I spent a lot of time mulling over what sort of deck to play after looking through my card pool and first decided to play Sharks. I opted for this because after opening the standard Master Duel packs, I found a treasure key that unlocked more specialized packs, in this case, Sharks. And you'll find a bunch of these keys by the way, so there's a lot of options for card packs to purchase. I threw together a deck, played some more solo for testing, and then played a few matches of ranked. The additional time in solo propelled my deck past many of these other new players who opted to use the first deck they earned. I was hooked, but soon ran into stiffer competition, so I decided to build a new deck to try it out. One very cool feature in Master Duel is the ability to copy other public decks and then build replicas of your own. It's essentially like built-in deck lists, which helped in overcoming my choice paralysis on what to play next. I decided to give Deskbots a try, and got to work assembling a deck, only to realize I didn't have a lot of the necessary cards. However, Master Duel has another trick up its sleeve. You can dismantle cards in your collection to earn tokens that correspond to the rarity of the disassembled card. For instance, deconstructing a rare gives you rare tokens, while ultra rare cards give you ultra rare tokens. Pretty simple to understand. From there, you can take those tokens and use them to generate new cards of that rarity. And this allowed me to assemble an alright Deskbot deck. And don't laugh if you're a pro watching this, it's the best I could think of without going crazy in deck building. This is one of Master Duel's biggest strengths though, as you aren't limited by the cards you pull from packs. Instead, they act like fuel to build what you truly want to. I should note though that it isn't a one-for-one trade on these dismantled cards, but the feature is still praiseworthy nonetheless. Heading online to play is going to be perceived differently by new players versus veterans. Being able to be matched up randomly with someone of your same skill level is admirable, but it's strange that the game only offers best of one duels. That's right, the side deck, one of Yu-Gi-Oh's core head game mechanics, is completely absent here. It wouldn't surprise me if they added it in later, but for now it's disappointing. On top of that, the game doesn't utilize the current ban list for the TCG or OCG. Again, I don't really know, I'm a super casual player, I can't tell you the difference between those two things, so, sorry about that. But anyway, what this means is that a lot of hard hitters are free to use here at 3 copies. So you're going to be seeing a lot of Lightning Storm and Skill Drain and Max C. This will bother a lot of players coming over from the established trading card game, but I don't share the same sentiment because I'm not used to that main meta game. So for me, it doesn't bother me a whole lot. Of course, as I moved up the ranks, I started getting destroyed more often, but that really encouraged me to get back to deck building. Look, I'm playing Despots, so I never was going to make it far, but seeing other people's decks gave me new ideas to try, and the card generation system, along with tons of gems to buy packs for fuel, allows me to do so with relative ease. And I love that. It feels welcoming as a new player and keeps me wanting to play more. And if I get whooped too often, I can always return to the many solo mode duels to live out some power fantasies. So, all in all, I'm happy with Master Duel. So yeah, that's my quick assessment of this game. I'm not some dedicated member of the Yu-Gi-Oh card game scene, and so I figured it was best to keep this video limited to impressions. I'm sure more active players can break down this game's strengths and weaknesses far better than I can. But what I can say is that if you have any interest in getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh, this is a great place to start. I'm grateful for a free-to-play service that has helped me learn the tricky new mechanics while providing a beautifully animated map to play on, and while granting me tons of new cards to experiment with alone or with friends. I recommend checking this one out. I have no hesitation in saying this is going to take up a lot of my gaming time in 2022. So what are your thoughts on Master Duel? I'd love to hear a more dedicated fan's perspective in the comments below, so let me know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing for more, follow me on Twitter at NopeNapNarp, and as always, have a nice day, and take care.